Medal of Honor Warfighter in 2021. Where do we begin with this? Well, usually the best place to begin is introductions. Hello everyone, I'm Rickers. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It is greatly appreciated. This isn't a review of the game, guys, because that's pretty much pointless at this point. All the critics pretty much destroyed the game. This is simply my impression of the game and how it feels all these years later. So first off, I think the best place to start is the hit detection and the classes and the operator system. And how did I feel? Throughout the gameplay I use a vast number of different guns and different operators, which is something I really do like about the game. The ability to actually choose what nation you fought for in this game was something I personally thought was really cool and different. Now, one thing that this game did that most multiplayer games don't actually do was that on multiplayer you aren't a certain side of the battle. So for instance, the games that came out a year prior to this that were modern military focused, Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3, both those games had you pitched against Russians in the campaign. So effectively multiplayer was two sides. You were either Russian or you were, in Modern Warfare's case, SAS and the Marines. In Battlefield's case, I'm not too sure. I think it was the Marines against the Russians solely. I don't think there was any involvement of SAS in Battlefield 3, but that was pretty much what multiplayer games were at that point. It was one side versus another side. Medal of Honor Warfighter was very different. Medal of Honor Warfighter actually allowed you to pick what nation you wanted to play as. So if you had chosen to play as the United Kingdom, you would have then been SAS. If you were USA, you were the Marines. If you were Korean, you were a Korean force. That was something I thought was really cool about the game, that you could actually ultimately be whatever major military operating force you wanted to be. It was something that this game really did well in terms of allowing you to pick and choose whatever you wanted to be. And it's sad because Call of Duty, Battlefield, other FPS games, they really could adapt something like this now, but ultimately they just choose not to. And I think a real reason for that is because this game, realistically, whatever way you look at it, it will always be branded as the failure, the black sheep of EA's FPS collection. Now, that is sad at the same time, because while that was something that this game will ultimately be branded as, the black sheep of the family, the game isn't actually all bad. Like I did say, the redeeming parts of it, such as the operating system, but the customization as well, which, if you ask me personally, I do believe Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 really took inspiration from. I'll actually throw the two of them up on screen now so you can see what they're both like. Modern Warfare 2019, Medal of Honor Warfighter, which came out in 2012. They were very similar in terms of the customization. Now, one thing that I did notice when it came to the customization of Modern Warfare as opposed to, say, Medal of Honor, there's a lot more gadgets that you can add to your gun, which really do make the gun very different and handle differently. For instance, you can do so much more in terms of, you know, customization that actually makes your accuracy better. Optics, again, accuracy better. Firepower changes depending on whatever you add to your gun. Medal of Honor Warfighter really doesn't have that much that changes the gun. Now, certain aspects will change, you know, like I say, your agility, you know, to be able to jump over walls, etc. They'll be able to change all that, but the actual added on attachments will not change anything really major unless it's an optic, which of course will change your effective range. Now, I don't want to really say, oh well, they should have done what Modern Warfare 2019 done, because had this game actually done a lot better and actually maybe been a success, this is probably something that they would have implemented years down the line eventually. So maybe a later release could have had more add-ons that would have ultimately affected the accuracy and the agility and effective range much more of your gun. But just looking at the two of them side by side, you can see the similarities are very close. You know, it actually is scary how similar they can be, and it just does show that while this game was ultimately a failure, a lot of the stuff in it actually is really good in terms of like the ideas behind it. And a lot of developers have actually snuck it into their games without a lot of people really knowing where it came from. Because like I say, Modern Warfare got a lot of praise for what it did in its customization. Medal of Honor Warfighter, while it was praised, like I say, for the customization, it ultimately wasn't chopped up as the big high-end success that EA wanted it to be. And that was sort of a forgotten feature that, like I say, other developers have taken and went, you know what? It worked, we liked it, we put it in our game and see what people think. And a lot of people liked it in Modern Warfare. Now let's talk a bit about the multiplayer maps. The multiplayer maps themselves, I mean, I can't really complain too much about them because they're standard FPS multiplayer maps. There's nothing really special about them. They're not the biggest maps, but they're also not the smallest maps. They're a good combination in terms of size, and I'd compare it sort of a middle ground between Call of Duty and Battlefield. And what I mean by that is that these are maps that were built for a 10v10 gameplay, okay? Small, compact maps that were sort of built in terms of being similar to Call of Duty, but also being similar in a sense to Battlefield. So it was actually a good mashup between them. Now, a lot of maps have the problem that you find yourself a lot of time you can't go up a certain step because obviously the game won't let you. You can't, jump over something because again, the game won't let you. And this is stuff that realistically you could argue and say, well, you're not meant to be outside the perimeter of the multiplayer combat and it's to try and keep you in combat. The problem is, however, is that when you're consistently trying to run up a hill and the game doesn't allow this to happen, it can become a bit annoying because then you have to really do a whole circuit of the map again and you potentially run into a way to get yourself killed. Now again, going back to this game, I'm not exactly expecting this to be fixed because like I said, EA pretty much just abandoned the game in January 2013. They went, it isn't a success, we're done. So I mean, realistically, I can't really expect much from this game going back and playing it. But one thing I will say about the game, I mean, if you really take it as what it is, an unfinished game, and understand how to play it, it can actually be a good game when you really do think about it. So we can't really expect this game to function and play like a proper game that would have come out like last week, because it didn't. It came out 9 years ago, it was unfinished, it got a couple patches, but not enough to actually support the game and make it a great fun experience. Now, going back and playing it, I've actually been having a lot of fun with it. Now the problem is that you have to just sort of live with the bugs because they're never going to get patched. If you go and play this on PC, expect to be thrown in there against pros because these are people that have been playing this game consistently from it got released, okay? These are people that know how every gun works, know what the recoil's like, and know how to deal with it, okay? These are pros, okay? Which is really, really difficult for me, especially when you come from console where you're consistently using a controller to mouse and keyboard. I'm actually using a controller in this gameplay, so that just shows you what I'm talking about. It is really difficult. The hit detection, like I said, it's a bit iffy, but I'm putting that down mainly to using a controller in this game. So yeah, we're not going to touch too much on the campaign, mainly because I want to do that in a separate video. But if you take this game at face value of what it is, it's an okay game, okay? It's not a terrible game. I don't think it's as bad as what the critics pretty much made out because, like I said, the reviews and that were bad, but the game itself could have been patched, and if it had been patched and got full support from EA and the developers, it probably could have been a successful game in terms of like functioning without a problem. The problem is, but the game got no support, no DLC, and EA ultimately went, you know what, it isn't working, we're just done with it. And I've repeated myself, I understand that, but I feel I need to get the message across that EA really did put the final nail in this game's coffin. So yeah, this has been Medal of Honor in 2021. Like I say, nothing really special to report. There's no real changes on the game. It's pretty much a wasteland, and it will die out eventually, which I find disappointing because, like I said, I'm having a lot of fun on it. Will it ever be brought even the backwards compatibility? I don't know, because backwards compatibility on terms of console, if you want that to go up on the backwards compatibility slot, it needs enough votes as far as I'm aware. This game, I don't think it'll ever get votes. I don't even think it'll ever be looked at again. I think if EA ever do bring back Medal of Honor, this game will be a, pretend it never happened situation. And speaking of which, will Medal of Honor ever come back? I do strongly think it will, and here's why. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond was not intended to be a VR game when they were planning it, and if you listen to interviews from Peter Hirschman, etc., they said that their plan was to revive the Medal of Honor series. It wasn't that we're going to do a one and done Medal of Honor VR game, it was we are going to revive. I'll try and find that video and put it in a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out, but he says those words, revive. Now that's crucial. So yeah, do I think Medal of Honor will come back? Yes. Do I think it'll be better than Warfighter? Yes, mainly because I don't think EA will make the same mistakes they made before, and I don't think they've actually made those sort of mistakes, and here's why. If you guys remember, I know I'm going a bit off topic, but bear with me a second. If you guys remember Battlefield Hardline was meant to come out, and I do believe winter time, sort of 2014, so you're probably talking November to February time. It was originally slated for a November release of 2014. The game was not going to be done, and so what happened is EA decided, you know what, we'll push it back until March 2015. Because the game wasn't done, and I do think that was a lesson that was strongly learned from what happened with Medal of Honor Warfighter, that they were not going to rush out a game, they were going to sit back, develop it, and get it done. So yeah, I do think Medal of Honor will come back, and realistically, if Respawn are the ones who are working on it, I have high hopes, but it could also be the new company Ripple Effect, who have stated that they're developing their own game. They were originally Dice LA, who then were originally Danger Close, so they have ties to Medal of Honor, as well as having Vince Zampella on the team now, who has also got ties to Medal of Honor. He actually was one of the head guys who made Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which, if you read up the reviews and what critics thought of it, is the highest grossing critically acclaimed Medal of Honor game, bar the first one in 1999. But yeah guys, I've been Recursive, and you thank you guys so much if you've stuck by to the end of this video. It wouldn't go amiss if you guys want to leave a like. If you guys even comment below what you think I missed, what I didn't talk about in this, throwback of Medal of Honor, please feel free to comment it below. Other than that, I've been Recursive, and you have a nice day guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, see you later.